Hello again, everyone. I have just been informed that the last 5 minutes or so of my talk in the previous video, the global finance oligarchy, the nation state, the last 5 minutes or so were cut off, and so I just I'm going to record it again. The last basically my conclusions. It won't take long, and I'll put it there as a link to the previous one. And I was saying about these the Human Rights Act. There was a problem in Parliament, in the UK Parliament, to do with the sovereignty of Parliament and so on. And it all came to, there was a discussion and so on, but it all came to the fore when something happened, and this is the example. 8 citizens suspected of being Islamic terrorists were being detained without trial in Belmarsh prison. Their detention was legal under the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2001. But in a groundbreaking decision, 8 of the 9 members of the House of Lords who heard the appeal declared that the detention of the suspects without trial contradicted the European Convention. As we had seen, the verdict did not invalidate the Anti-Terrorist Act. It had been properly passed by Parliament. But the political fallout from the ruling was immense. The government came under pressure to amend the Anti-Terrorism Act to make it compatible with the Convention. And after much political wrangling, this was achieved, and a considerable number of additional legal safeguards were built into the amended Act. And this demonstrated the fact that although Parliament remains legally sovereign, it will find it difficult to resist the pressure of an adverse court decision. So what happened here is that because it was the Blair government brought the whole amended thing, not just the original document of the 1950s, but all the amendments with very ambiguous language into law. That is the reason why the government now cannot, for example, deport an illegal immigrant, why it has to provide counsel for that illegal immigrant, why it has to provide welfare for that individual illegal immigrant. Because what happened was that in 1977, one of the amendments that were made and to the original one, they changed the wording of the original document, but also to these human rights or civil liberties, they add 2, and that will be called the European Union Social Chapter. It involves 2 more civil liberties. One is the prevention of discrimination against certain groups in society, women, ethnicities, gay, disabled, etc. Those are the social, and also employment rights, rights to welfare. Okay, so here we are already beginning to see that the power of the individual independent state has been transferred to a transnational organization. Its meaning well extended from the original 1950s test. For example, the original right to marry, the amendments and the language and the alterations was so expanded and so ambiguous then that it left you with what is marriage? It could be anything you want. You could marry a tree. The language is that ambiguous. The same with the family. Very ambiguous. To the point that whereas before we understood the family, father, mother, children, the nuclear family, it could be extended to two people who love each other and live together, kind of thing. Okay, so you could, your family is you and your dog and a tree in the garden. If you wanted to challenge it, it would fall under those terms. So the restriction on aliens was obviously changed too, to fall under the human rights, entitled to welfare, and so on and so on and so forth. So what do we have now? We have a nation where the laws of that nation are subservient to the laws of international organizations, and the international organizations are under the umbrella of the global oligarchy. That is how it came about. That's it. I just wanted to add this additional 2 minutes. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.